Okay. I think we are now live on Facebook. All right.
Yay! Hi,
Yay!
Facebook.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. All right. So I'll go ahead and get started. So welcome
Great.
to our April edition of the Seymour Scoop. If you've not joined us before, a Seymour Scoop is a webcast series that we launched earlier this year. This is actually our second edition. And it's an opportunity for us, the Office of New Student and Retention Programs, to bring Southern Miss resources that are available to students to you. It's a way for us to give you information about the resources that are available to your students. And please help us encourage your students to use these very helpful resources. I'll let you know who I am. My name is Ashley Jones, and I serve as the coordinator of parent and family programs in the Office of New Student and Retention Programs at Southern Miss. And so I am the person that is rooting for you 100% as your go-to person. If there's anything that you need, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'll make sure that I provide my contact information in the comment section below. And so it's just my opportunity here to provide some information about resources for students. And please help us spread the word to your students. Today, we're taking some time out to meet with Miss April Estill from Student Counseling Services. She's a counselor in Student Counseling Services and serves as the Assistant Director. Thank you so much for being with us today, April.
Thank you, Ashley.
So we'll just go ahead and get started into our questions. April,
Okay.
what exactly is Student Counseling Services?
Yeah. Great question. So, when you think about sending your students to college, and I've been fortunate enough to send two students myself to college, it's a can be a very exciting and a very stressful time. And so the way we look at students going to college, there are, of course, goals for going to college, which have something to do with academics and degree completion. That's pretty important. And also, there are three developmental tasks that students are sort of expected to kind of master during those traditional college age years. And those developmental tasks are individuation, from your family of origin, like who am I outside of my family of origin? Autonomy, which means, taking care of things on your own and kind of being a grown up and start adulting. And then there's also relationship building is the third developmental task. And so we kind of look at those formative years during traditional college age students as sort of a practice ground while they're learning things academically and in the books and in the classrooms. They're also learning how to navigate different systems. If you think about relationship building, there's an opportunity during college to practice different types of relationships. You've got your social relationships, romantic relationships. There's also professional relationships, relationships with academic providers, instructors, and things like that. And so we kind of think about our role in the development of college students as kind of helping them with those other developmental tasks. So Student Counseling Services is actually it's a free confidential counseling service for all enrolled Southern Miss students. We do work with students on a myriad of issues, all the way from adjusting to college life or from being away from home, up to, more significant issues such as mental wellness concerns, depression, anxiety, suicide prevention and awareness, and things like that. And so we're here to provide those services to students to sort of help them learn how to navigate anything that could potentially get in the way of their academic success. So we also serve as sort of a portal. Sometimes if students aren't quite sure where to go to seek help on campus for different things, they can definitely come to us, and we're more than happy to help them navigate the Southern Miss community.
Awesome. Thank you for that explanation. I think,
Yeah.
Times when we think of student counseling services, we think of it as in like this one thing. But hearing the explanation of what you serve, it's like, wow, you help in a lot of different areas. And so that's really good to have that base understanding. So when a student comes to student counseling services, is it a referral based? Are students required to have a referral before they're able to make an appointment?
Right. Actually, we have students come to us from many different ways. We may have students who are referred to us from. It could be more of a formal referral. Say, for instance, if there's been contact with another office on campus, and maybe they've been identified as having some sort of a struggle, there could be a referral made from another office. A lot of students come to us, though, from what we call self-referral, and they just come in on their own. And so there is no formal referral process required at all. Students are welcome to access our services whenever they feel they could benefit from our services.
Awesome. That's really good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In our current situation of the nation, can students still have those one-on-one sessions with counselors?
Right, great. Yeah, our current situation, that's a really that's a big statement with a few words.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually started at the end of February, beginning of March, when things started kind of looking like they may be starting to transition for us to more of an online situation. Our team went in pretty quickly and identified platforms that we could use to start offering telehealth services. And so we were able to secure it's a HIPAA compliant platform that we use. And so what that means is that confidentiality is very, very much protected, and students are able to access our services, and they are able to have those one-on-one services with counselors still. Yes.
Okay. I know that's key, and it's something that has to be done, is to make sure that confidentiality and privacy is remained. So what exactly do those remote sessions look like? They're still computer, video. Kind of walk us through kind of what the process is.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so we have our online platform, and we've been able to make a transition with a lot of the required paperwork and the forms that we need to be able to gather information from students and make it pretty user friendly. So essentially what those remote sessions look like, they look kind of like what we're doing right now.
Okay.
We're able to send a secure link to students via email, and with an appointment time, an appointment date, and they just simply click on that link at the time of their appointment, and they're connected with their counselor during that time. So it's very much very much like what we're doing now. The only thing I guess that might be a little different is that what we ask for students to do is, if they're going to have those one-on-one counseling or therapy sessions with a counselor, is that we ask that you're able to kind of have a secure private location with minimal distractions, so that you can get the most out of your time with your counselors. And sometimes that can be a little challenging, and especially with everything that we've got going on right now, it can be a little challenging.
Right.
But generally we do ask, if you can find a space. We've had students who are able to access the remote sessions on their phones. So it could be that maybe they go sit in the car if they need some privacy, or go to their rooms, and they can still access and have those private sessions with their counselors. So it's very much like what we're doing right now, Ashley.
I know it seems that every part of the world now is using Zoom or using some other platform, YouTube,
Yes.
using some platform to be virtual. So it's really cool that we do have a resource like this to still be able to reach students and parents and families. And so
Absolutely.
to sign up for that appointment, that link is available on your website, correct?
So we do have the link available. No, let me take that back. So in order to access our services, that process hasn't changed. Okay, so we do ask that if you are interested in a counseling session, our regular phone line is operational. You can call that phone line and schedule an appointment. We also have been able to set up where we can offer same day emergency appointments if necessary. If we think back to when we were in our counseling center, we did have walk-in services available. So a student could walk in if they needed to see a counselor same day, or if they were in a crisis, et cetera. That looks a little bit different now. So what that looks like is if someone is experiencing a crisis or would like to speak with a counselor same day, they can call our regular phone line and let the administrative person know that they need to see a counselor immediately. And so what's going to happen is our administrative person will email the appropriate forms that we need to be completed in order to facilitate that appointment. And then she makes contact with a counselor to let a counselor know that we have a same day or emergency student. And then that particular counselor takes the student's information. They process the paperwork that's been completed by the student, and then go ahead and set up that Zoom link and email that Zoom link right away. So whereas, before it would look like completing paperwork and then maybe waiting in our waiting room or in our Zen room, which is awesome, until a counselor is available. Now it's just where you will be sitting, in your homes or wherever you are locally, and the counselor will email you that link, and you can have that session with the counselor right away.
That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned the Zen Room for our parents and families. We originally scheduled for this interview to happen in the Zen Room so that you could see a really cool service that they offer. So could you give us a picture of what it looks like, even though we're not able to be there today? Hopefully we can bring you another interview in the fall where we're actually in the Zen Room so you can see it. So tell us a little bit about what that Zen Room is.
Okay. So we have a Zen Room, and it is a very sought after service throughout campus, actually. And in order to access our Zen Room, you do have to be a client of the counseling services. We don't have the ability yet to have that open campus wide to anyone. However, if a student is a client of ours and we've been working with them, they're welcome to have access to our Zen Room. And this is a project we put in place probably about 6 years ago. We started working on this, and we thought that it was extremely important for students to have a place to maybe practice either some coping skills that they maybe learned in their counseling sessions, or just kind of a place to sit and relax and decompress if necessary. So we started working on our Zen Room, and so it's a wonderful place. It has we've got 2 massage chairs in our Zen Room. We have access to we also have like various activities that students can do while they're in the Zen Room. We've got beanbag chairs all over the place. We have fountains. There's nice soft Zen calming music that's playing all the time in the Zen Room. And it's just a wonderful place to come and just be still and be quiet and practice mindfulness. We have sand art, we have coloring activities there. We have magnet activities, just all sorts of things that people can use, either tactile or just, kind of relaxing and enjoying themselves and just relaxing. And that's something that's available to our clients. They can call even if they don't have a session, if they've got say they've had maybe a difficult class or maybe a difficult conversation with someone, and they just want to relax. They can
Right.
come over, and if the Zen room is currently staffed, they're able to come in and stay in the Zen room for as long as they'd like.
I feel relaxed just by hearing you talk about the Zen room. I already feel like I'm in a better place mentally. So that's a really neat service that you offer for your clients. And I don't know. I thank you guys for having something like that for our students, because we know that it's all necessary. As human beings, we know that there are times where we face stressors, and so it's really good to know that there is a place where clients can go to kind of help relieve those stressors. So that's really neat. Um,
Absolutely.
so this may look a little different now that we are virtual, but I know that when we are
Sure.
on campus, you do offer individual sessions as well as group sessions. What are some other
Mhm.
resources that you offer in conjunction with those two opportunities?
Sure. So yes, we do have the individual and group services on a normal basis. So if we take a look at what we normally offer when we are in office and our department's up and running, we've got the individual. We have group services. We also offer like group seminars. Like it could be like a skill building type seminar, because a lot of times students will have skills that they've been using, and they're not even aware that they have these skills, and we call those strengths. And so
Right.
we do offer a what's called a grit and resilience seminar. And basically, what that seminar is it helps students to recognize their own strengths, and it helps to teach them some strategies on how to tap into and sort of generalize or use those strengths, across whatever things they might be experiencing. So that's a really great service we offer. We also do referral options. For example, on campus, we've got tons of wonderful resources on campus. We have our sports and rec center. We have our marriage and family therapy clinic that's on campus. We have our psychology clinic that's on campus. And so we will work with some of those clinics to kind of partner and collaborate. So we'll make referrals to students. Like, for example, if they're needing to perhaps get some testing done to find out about, things that could help enhance their ability to learn, or if there are some barriers there to learning. So we can work with students in helping them get connected to those services. We also offer what we call a trauma-informed yoga class. That's a collaboration that we have with Sports Rec, and that's actually a class that takes place once a week in our Zen room, and students can go to those classes and engage in. It's about a 30-minute yoga session, and then one of our counselors who has been trained in the trauma-informed yoga will come in and do a process session with the students who attend and participate in that particular class. We also have, I'm drawing a blank. We also have, like I said, the Zen Room. We have the groups that we do on site. Then we also have another program that we just sort of introduced last academic year called Let's Talk. And what that is that's a program that was started by Cornell University several years ago, and it's kind of taken flight across the nation at various institutions. And so we've introduced that. And what that is there are 3 different locations that we identify on campus that are outside of the counseling center building, and we host these Let's Talk sessions. And what those are is the days and the times and locations of those Let's Talk locations are advertised every semester. And students are able just to drop in if they want to speak with a counselor for 10 or 15 minutes. It's still very much a confidential setting. The benefits of Let's Talk is there's really not, there's less of a commitment. It also can be a little bit easier for someone to have access to a counselor if they're not having to actually go to the counseling center. Now, the Let's
Absolutely.
Talk sessions aren't meant to take the place of therapy, but they are a really great resource if you just need to consult with a counselor one time or twice. Or if you're interested in kind of seeing what this whole counseling thing is about, Let's Talk is a great place that you can just try it out. There's no paperwork. It's still a confidential, setting. It is an individual setting. And that's something that you can talk to you can access that counselor if you have a question for yourself or if you're concerned about a friend. It's just, really something that we like to encourage students to use to make it a little bit easier.
Absolutely. I do remember seeing the new implementation of Let's Talk within this past semester.
Mm-hmm.
In our office, we have a program called academic coaching. And so we meet with students individually. And so there's been opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
We have shared information about Let's Talk with those students. Our academic coaching director who oversees, or coordinator who oversees academic coaching, she often sends out information to the coaches to provide to our students. And that has been some of the things that we've kind of talked about, the sessions and the availabilities to be able to go to the Let's Talk session. So I have seen
Great.
that's really neat. I think that's a great opportunity for, like you said, for students to be able to kind of ease into this counseling
Mm-hmm.
if they're not ready to commit to seeing a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was
Mm-hmm.
really neat. So
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit about an app. So is there an app that students can use? What's with the app?
Yeah, what's with the app? So the app is really great. And I tell you, Ashley, I'm so glad we have it in place with everything that we've got going on right now, because it's really come in handy for our students.
Yes.
So we have an app. It's called Eagle Cares. And basically what it is, I guess you could say the mother app is called Seven Cups. And it's an online platform that's kind of set up social media style, where a person can go on and create their profile and have access to a wealth of self-help materials, different communities where you can learn and read and connect with other people based on particular or specific items. Like if you've got some questions about relationships, or if you are struggling with alcohol and or substance, if you have some concerns about mental health, or you want to learn more about depression and anxiety and coping skills and things like that, there are tons of different communities that you can join through that particular platform, and you can engage with other people online who are part of that particular community. Another part of the Eagle Cares app is there is access to peer trained listeners, is what they're called. And basically, we know in the mental health world that traditional college age students, the people they're going to turn to and kind of confide in more than anybody, or faster than anybody, are their peers.
Absolutely.
So we do have access to peer trained listeners who go through a training process in order to have to be in that particular role. And those peer trained listeners are available, and you can access them through the Eagle Cares app if you need someone to talk to. That is something that's fantastic, because somebody may not need to talk to a counselor all the time. They might just want to kind of process through some things and talk to somebody, and the anonymity is wonderful. And there's somebody that's there via chat or text, and you can chat or text with that person, and that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's just a wonderful part, and we've seen a surge of use with these, what they're called conversations, and we've seen a surge of use in the use of conversations sort of since we've been removed from campus. So we're really excited to see that students are using that. It's super easy. You go to your app store and you download Seven Cups, and we've got an organizational code it's all lowercase USM, and that will take you to our Eagle Cares platform. Normally 7 cups, if you're using it on an individual basis, there is a fee attached to that. However, if you use our organizational code that takes you to Eagle Cares, which is our version of 7 cups, you have access for free. That's a service that we provide for our students.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really neat. And with students, we know that they are all about, apps and anything that's virtual. So it's really good that we can offer something that's really accessible to them right in, their palm of their hand, in their phone. And so that's really good that we're reaching them in a different avenue and on a different platform. So that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's a really good idea. So with our audience of parents and families, what role
Mm-hmm.
parents and families play in assisting their student who is possibly seeking treatment with student counseling services? What are some things that they can do or say or not do or not say? What is the role of the parent and family in assisting their student to getting the treatment that they may need?
Sure. That's a great question, Ashley. So, we kind of look at all portions of each student's life as a partner. And so parents are a very important partner in the development of students. And, if we think earlier when I was talking about the transition that's occurring with students going to college, there's an adjustment and a transition that's going on with parents as well. And so
Right.
it can be a very challenging time. And what we encourage parents to do is, first off, to talk to your student, and if you are starting to notice changes in your students, for example, if you find that you're getting more tearful calls to home than you are, hey, guess what I did today calls. If you start to notice those, that might be something you want to ask your student about. Are you okay? If you're noticing some changes in their performance, like if their grades seem to be dropping, if they seem to have a significant decrease in their energy level, or on the opposite side of that, a significant increase in their energy level, that could be something that you might want to pay attention to. And we really encourage parents to, if you've got a concern or a question, or you notice something different about your student, ask your student directly. And you can let your student know, I've heard that there are counseling services available on campus. Are you willing to go, check that out? And really be supportive of them and encourage them to access that service. The other thing that we want to encourage parents to do, which this one gets a little tricky sometimes, is to give space. If a student goes and they're accessing services, give them the space to do that. And if they want to talk with you about what's going on in their counseling sessions, then great. If they are preferring to sort of keep those things to themselves, we ask that you try to respect those boundaries, and just let your student know that you're there to support them and you're willing to be as involved as you would like them to be. In addition to that, we also encourage parents to, if they have concerns about their students, we encourage parents to actually call us or access the CARES reporting system to inform the institution or to inform us of their concerns. Now, because of HIPAA, confidentiality, and things of that nature, we may not be able to give you any information about your student and their current therapy process, or even if we know if they're in therapy, but we can give you very general information and direction about if you're concerned about your student. We certainly want to be able to be there to support you and give you direction on how you can follow through to help your students stay safe. And that's definitely something that sort of trumps everything. So if you're concerned about your students' safety, we want you to let us know about those things. And if you need some, if our parents are not really sure what to do and they're just like, I don't know what to do, please give us a call. We're more than happy to be supportive of parents and, to provide, resources, information, guidance, support. We're there to do that because this is a very, very tough process, a big adjustment. And and we also want parents to take care of yourselves because one thing about traditional age college students is there is a strong possibility that no matter how much you get involved or how little you get involved, it will be the wrong amount either way. And so we want you to take care of yourselves and recognize that this is a tough time, and it's important. It's a tough time for you too as parents, and so we want you to take care of yourselves as well.
That's very true. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the give and take thing with parents. Like, do this, this, I thought I was doing it right. So, surely if you have questions about, the right approach or the right thing to say, or what are some things that you can do, I do encourage you to please feel free to reach out to Student Counseling Services or reach out to us, and I'll be glad to help you as much as I can or direct you to the people who can. And so, April, you mentioned this earlier in the interview, but for people who may be logged on a little later, how much does it cost for students to make an appointment, even a virtual appointment? What's the cost for that?
Yeah, it's my absolute favorite price ever. It's free. I love free. So yeah, any of our services are absolutely free. It's actually a service that's covered. A part of our budget is covered with student fees because if you look at budgeting and things like that, the importance of physical and mental wellness is so important in the development and the success of a student that it is covered with part of student fees. So what I tell students when I'm giving presentations about our services is I'm like, hey, normally if you're going to see a licensed mental health professional, you can look at having to shell out between $150 and $300, a session, depending on who you're going and where you're going to see and insurance things. This is an opportunity to take advantage of having licensed mental health professionals absolutely free of charge. And so that is like my favorite cost. And I really love that we don't have that barrier for students, because it just makes reaching out for help. I tell you what, reaching out for help and being to the point where you say, I can't do this by myself, that is huge. And so if someone is able to get beyond or through that barrier, it would really hurt my heart as a parent to know that cost could potentially get in the way of them seeking that help. So we're free. Come see us.
April, I love free. Anything free.
Yes.
For it. So about how many students do you serve each semester?
Yeah, we generally serve between 500 and 800 students a semester. Just depends on kind of how things are going and what kinds of things we have in place. As far as the students that we serve actually in the counseling center, that would be between 500 and 800 students a semester, or up to 1,000 sometimes. But then we also do education and outreach programs, and we try to reach out to students on campus. If we can just touch one student and provide them with one resource or one contact with a counselor that helps them to get to help, we feel like we've done our jobs. And so if you consider those contacts that we make, we probably serve about 3,000 students a semester.
So we wrap up today's Seymour Scoop. I want to say thank you so much. So just give us some contact information. So
sure.
Campus in the fall, where are you located on campus? And now that we are virtual, how can students reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. So on campus, we're located in Bond Hall East, which is on the back side of the parking garage facing the Thad Cochran Center. So that's our location, and our contact information, both when we are on campus and now, We have our phone number, which is 601-266-4829. We also have our after hours crisis number, which is active when we're on campus and now. That number is 601-606-4357. And we can also be reached. I had somebody write this down for me today, so I would know how to do it. You can reach us at Twitter on at SCS_USM, Instagram at USM Student Counseling Center, and Facebook page is at USM Student Counseling Services.
Awesome. There are lots of avenues to be able to reach you. So I do hope our parents, families, and students will definitely take the opportunity to reach out to you should they need any additional assistance or information past this video. For
Absolutely.
All families, thank you so much for joining us today for our April edition of the Seymour Scoop. Like I said earlier in the video, my name is Ashley Jones, and I serve as the coordinator of parent and family programs in the Office of New Student and Retention Programs. And you can certainly reach us by phone, by email, or social media. Our phone is still in operation, so you can still reach us should you need to talk with anyone in our office. Our number is 601-266-6405. And I do urge each of you to jot down our email address, and we are available at parentsandfamily@usm.edu. And that is parents with an S, parentsandfamily@usm.edu. Also, you are probably or likely watching us from Facebook at the moment, but please be sure to like and follow our Facebook page. And we are NSRP Family on Facebook. We will often provide updates and contact information, content on our Facebook page. And I hope that all of our families that are watching, I hope that you are already members of our Parent and Family Association. It is a free association for any parent and family member of a current Southern Miss student. And that affords you the ability to be able to receive our monthly e-newsletters. And those newsletters are packed with information just like today, resources for your students, updates, upcoming events, programmings, and things that are going on campus and in the Hattiesburg community. If you're not a member or if you're not already receiving that information monthly, you can sign up today for free. Our favorite word for the day, our favorite price. And the link to sign up for Parent and Family Association is on our website, and that is www.usm.edu/NSRP. Please feel free to sign up today. Once you're on there, click on the side, you'll see Parents and Families, you'll see monthly newsletters, and then you're able to sign up for the association. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Miss April or myself, and we'll be glad to help you. Thank you so much for joining us for the April Seymour Scoop, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.